Hey everyone, welcome back to this video. So in the last video, we discussed about creating a table and a matrix visual. Now in this video, let's talk about formatting those visuals. So first of all, I will create one more page, and on that page, I'll move this matrix visual. So I'll simply click here on new page, and I will rename this second page as matrix visual. And I'll go back to the first page and I'll rename it as table visual. Let's move this matrix visual to the matrix visual page. So I'll simply click here on this visual. I'll click on it again because it filtered the selected city. So that to bring it to normal state, Control X, and I'll go back to the matrix visual page. I'll click on the blank area of the canvas and Control V. We can further resize it. We can further resize the matrix visual that we have. And now let's go back to the table visual. So I will increase the size for this table visual. All right. And now let's discuss about some of the formatting options for this table visual. So having this table visual selected, I will click here on format your visual, and then you can choose from different styles. So we have style presets. So from this style preset, let's choose none. So you can see this is how it looks. You can choose some other style, let's say flashy rose. So this is how it looks, right? So you can choose any style according to your choice. Different styles are available. You can choose according to your convenience and choice. So let's collapse this style presets. Now, let's say under this grids, we want to change this horizontal grid lines to on. We further want to change the color for horizontal grid lines. So we can maybe change it to light gray, and we can further increase the width for these horizontal grid lines. We can also change the vertical grid lines to on. We can further change the color for the vertical grid lines from here, and we can increase the width as well. So this is how it looks. If I will further expand this border, so under this border, we can provide a border, let's say at the top, bottom, left, and right according to our need. So let's say I want to provide all 4 borders. So I'll check this box for top, bottom, left, and right, all of them. And now since the borders have been added for all 4 sides, so we can change this visual border for entire table visual to off. So having this table visual selected, I'll click on General, Effects, and I'll change this visual border to off. We can further resize it. I'll again click on the table visual that we have created, and I'll click on Visual, and I'll collapse this grid. Now let's say we want to format the values that are represented here at the center. So we can expand this values, and we can choose a different font style from here. We can increase the font size from here, and maybe we can keep the values underlined if we want to, or maybe we can remove it from underlined. We can have italic and bold values. Also, you can change the text color for given records, and then for alternate records, you can have a different text color. Similarly, you can choose background color for given records, and then for alternate records, you can have a different background color. So you can choose that according to your convenience. As of now, light blue and dark blue is chosen, as you can see on the screen. So first of all, let's say I want to keep the text color as black only. I do not want to change it for neither for the alternate rows, not for the given rows. So, but I want to change the background color and alternate background colors. So let's say I'll change the background color to maybe orange, and then I can change the alternate background color to dark orange. So this is how it looks. And now I'll collapse this values. All right. We can similarly format the column headers. So I'll expand this column headers. We can change it. We can select a different font style from here. We can further increase the size for the column headers. We can keep it bold, italic, and we can choose a text color and background color of our choice. So let's say we want to choose pink color as the background. So we can choose it from here. And probably let's keep the text color to be black only for the headers. And let's say we want to change the header alignment. So let's keep it center. So now the headers are center aligned. And I'll further collapse this. Now, let's say we want to change the formatting for totals. So I'll expand the totals, and these are the totals that you can see here at the bottom. I can further, let's say, change the font style from here. We can further increase the size. We can have a different background color according to our needs. And we can have a different text color, but let's keep the text color to be black only. So these were some of the formatting options for the table visual that we have discussed. We will be discussing about these visuals again in the upcoming videos. So we will discuss more about the formatting of these visuals, and we will also take more examples to understand the situations where these table and matrix visuals can be helpful. Now let's also discuss about some of the formatting options for the matrix visual. So I'll simply click here on the matrix visual, and now I'll click here on this matrix visual. First of all, I clicked on the matrix visual page, sorry, and now I'll click on the matrix visual. Now having this matrix visual selected, I'll click on format your visual, and we can change the different formatting options from here. So let's say first of all we want to change the style. So under this style presets, we can have a different style. So let's choose flashy rows for the matrix as well. So you can see that these colors are selected. I'll further collapse it. Same as we did in the case of the table visual, we can have grid lines, vertical and horizontal both for the matrix visual as well. So we can change these two on. Let's say we want to keep them white only, but let's say we want to increase the width. So we can increase the width to 2 for horizontal grid line and then for vertical as well from here. Let's say we also want to have a border. So we can expand this border, and we can have the border for top, bottom, left, right, all of them. So we can check these boxes. So top, bottom, right, and left. And that's all. So we can further collapse this border, and maybe we can collapse this grid as well. Now again, we can format the values that you can see here at the center. So I'll further expand this values, and we can have a different font style. We can have different font size, and we can keep them bold, italic. And if you want to, you can keep them underlined as well. But if you do not want to keep it underlined, you can remove it from here. Again, for a given number of records, you can have a certain text color and a certain background color. And then you can, for alternate records, you can have a different text color and a different background color. So just like we changed in the case of the table visual, we can change it here as well. But let's say we do not want to change it here. So let it be the same as it is now for this matrix visual. Now we can also format the values in the column headers. So under this column headers, similarly, you can choose a different font style. You can have different font size. You can maybe keep it italic, maybe underlined, maybe not. And you can have a different background color for the headers. You can choose any color of your choice. And for the title, you can have a different alignment. So let's keep it center. And again, for the headers, you can have different alignments. So let's keep that as well center. So you can change it according to your convenience and your need. So this was all about formatting the column headers. Similarly, you can format the row headers as well. You can maybe keep it underlined, and maybe you can have a different background color of your choice. You can have a different text color. You can change the text alignment. Let's keep it right. So all the row headers will be right aligned. This was about the row headers. Then we have icons. So you can have different formatting options for the icons as well. So if I'll further expand the icons, and we can have a different color of our choice. So let's say we want to choose some other color. Let's say we want to choose this purple. So we can choose this purple color. If you will further close it so you can see this color from here, maybe we can choose some other color. Let's choose white, maybe. Yes. So this icon has changed color, and this is now available in white color. So you can change the settings for the icons as well. I will further collapse this. And then we have column subtotals. If I will change this column subtotals to off, you can see that the totals of the sum of sales and profit are now not visible. If I'll further change this to on, you can see that these values, this particular column, that is total column, is now available here at the end. Similarly, if I'll change the row subtotals to off, so you can see that row subtotals are now not visible. But if I will change this row subtotals to on, so you can see the row subtotals. And then we have column grand totals as well, and row grand totals as well. So these were some of the formatting options that we have discussed. We will take some other questions to understand more about the table and matrix visual, and we will discuss about other formatting options in the projects when we will discuss about the table and matrix visual. So, and in the miscellaneous section, there is something called conditional formatting. So we will cover conditional formatting for these visuals in that session. So as of now, I hope this video was helpful. We'll meet in the next session. Till then, thank you.